defending, I think, is like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
Just as Ian Wright said there, people deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night. Appreciative of you lot tuned in. Now, let's go through the latest sort of Arsenal news, views, and talking points. First thing for me would be Ivan Toney. We all know how much of a great signing he would be for Arsenal. Premier League proven, gets better every year, scores a lot of goals, great general play, has that positive chip on his shoulder and that swagger in terms of mentality that he's got. I like it. I think there's a lot to like about Ivan Toney, and I'm sure a lot of football clubs like him. Obviously, his future is subject to speculation. I don't know how much Brentford would want for him. They'd probably, whatever you think he's worth, add a bit of tax. Even if you have to offer Balogun on a year's loan, maybe Eddie Nketiah, potentially Reece Nelson. Again, 2 of the 3 they were linked with. Balogun, they were heavily linked with. It could be a means to an end. Now, Ivan Toney does not have Premier League experience, but he has a wealth of experience. He's done the hard yards. He's doing what he's doing at Brentford, did what he was doing at Peterborough, been on a couple of loans. It makes sense. And I think where you see with Gabriel Jesus, Eddie Nketiah, and potentially Balogun, all great strikers, could all be part of the team. 2 of the 3 are part of the team and doing well, and Balogun's doing well over in France. But what Ivan Toney has is a different profile to them. You can knock it up to his chest, obviously play off him. He's a physical aspect, can take penalties, wants responsibility, can hit a nice free kick. I think he's a wonderful footballer, and he gets better with age. And at 27, he'd make a great addition to a lot of clubs. Whether he can step up, it remains to be seen. But Fabrizio Romano has spoken, people, and he said that he's drawing interest as his future is subject to speculation as we get towards the summer. Apparently, Ivan Toney's future is summed up by Romano, and he said things with Ivan Toney could move in the summer. At the moment, there's not something concrete with any of these clubs, but I'm told he's open to make a top club move in the summer, so it's one to watch for sure. However, there's no clarity on the player's asking price yet. He's been linked with Man United, Chelsea, back to Newcastle, etc., etc. And obviously, Paul Merson has nothing to do with where Arsenal transfers are concerned, but I think he summed it up perfectly. He said, if I was Arsenal, I would take him. He suits them down to the ground. Sometimes you cannot go long with Jesus, but you can go long with Toney. He's good in the air. He's got a very good brain. He can see a picture. He's not Harry Kane, but he can do a Harry Kane type job where he can come off the centre halves and he can pass through, and he's tidy. And I mean, there's a lot to like about him. He's got 20 league goals as well. No striker currently at our club can say that. Balogun can, but he's over there in France and he's not part of Arsenal season. So if we could get Ivan Toney done, he's got a fan in me. Apparently, Arsenal would be willing to pay close to 30 million for Newcastle star. We've been linked with the 26-year-old Frenchman, Alan St. Maximin. Now, again, he's been injured. Apparently, he's been ruled out of the season. Newcastle are doing great. Again, don't think it makes sense. He's definitely an exciting player to watch. Definitely gets bums off seats. Definitely excites, Joko Benito, Skillers. But in terms of the numbers, while his seasons are improving the last 18 months, I think at 26 years of age, he's a bit too raw. He's not as polished as we would like, really. There's a lot of things I would say about St. Maximin I'd expect of a 20-year-old. Great to watch. Don't really think beyond him being a good player and being great to watch, he brings anything to this Arsenal team, if I'm completely honest with you. And while we can't get them, you can make a case. It might be a left field choice, but you could argue if you're going to buy anyone from Newcastle, we'd love Guimaraes, we'd love Isaac, and all of those sort of guys. Dan Burn probably has more use at Arsenal than St. Maximin, really. At least he can play centre back, left back. He's relatively street smart. Of course, St. Maximin would be an exciting addition. Who knows? His productivity could improve. He's French. We have a long history with French players. He's a great player. I just don't think it makes sense, even if it is for what you see here. 30 million people. He has 11 league starts, people, this season for Newcastle, and his bagged just once. So again, I don't really think it makes sense beyond him being an exciting player. He is quite wasteful, so I don't buy that. Fabrizio Romano has said, as I've mentioned, Arsenal and Chelsea's interest in Yunus Musa, and it is the case. They are following Musa since January, Inter as well. At the moment, it's just scouting and not advanced, but Musa has good chances to move this summer. Who knows? We might bring him back to Haaland. Check out the rest of the videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, people. people. In relation to Mark Gurhey, there's nothing advanced with Arsenal and Mark Gurhey, but they're monitoring him. It's just normal scouting. No decision has been made, and there's nothing concrete at this stage on Gurhey, but many top clubs are following him, people. On Vlahovic, where you're seeing a full circle and rumours are linking us with a move for him again, there have been reports of Dusan Vlahovic agent offering him to Arsenal, but I'm not aware of that, honestly. Arsenal are not working to sign Vlahovic at this stage. There's absolutely nothing to report on that front. On Gravenberch, apparently the main problem for the Dutch midfielder remains Bayern Munich. They want to keep Ryan. They are very clear and strong on this position. There'll be a meeting in May to discuss the situation, and we'll know more on that. Moving away from that, apparently Arsenal 70 million star already considering a move to the Emirates. What does this mean in relation to Mason Mount, specifically what has been said? I'm pretty sure Mount is already considering a move to Arsenal. He knows the clubs that are interested in him. Arsenal are one of those. There are others who are a bit further down the line in terms of talks, and what's been put on the table. I think Arsenal would be another attractive club for Mount. I wouldn't mind that, really and truly. I don't think it's the answer, but I wouldn't be against it. Darmashev of Sky Sports has been speaking about Declan Rice, people. We know that Arsenal want to bring in a central midfielder, and we know that Declan Rice is someone they are very, very seriously interested in. So you expect them to go back in and test the resolve of West Ham United with a big bid and see if they can bring someone like him to the football club. Would he have improved? Would he have improved them previously? Yes, but I think it's by the by. I don't know what that means. It's by the by, because I don't think it would have been a realistic option for them to sign in either of the last two windows. We did hear we made tentative offers for Declan Rice in January. It was never going to happen. You hear the plan was to bring Caicedo in Jan, and that wasn't going to disrupt potential plans for Mason Mount. But if you're going to go for Caicedo for anything from 50 to 100 million, and for Declan Rice 75 to 100, best case scenario, you're looking at 140 plus region for two midfielders before we talk about right-sided centre-back, potentially right-back, a striker or a winger. So I would imagine with the Champions League, the Kroenkes would, make more funds available. And if you've had money to commit to Rafinha, Mudryk, and actually a Caicedo bid, regardless of knowing if we're going to be in the Champions League, etc., actually go back to the summer. We didn't know if we'd be in the Europa League for the coming season. The Europa League, the champs will know football. Everything's been a possibility. So whatever money we had, hopefully, we can get some players out and share resources. You'd imagine the likes of Pepe, Ainsley, Maitland-Niles, Marie, Cedric, if they're not going to bring in fees, we're going to either offset some of their wages, get their wages off the wage bill. Every little helps in terms of transfer fees. You throw in some extra money from the Kroenkes and obviously the Champions League, which with FFP would allow us to be a bit more adventurous. Keyword, adventurous, but we spend on the right players. We could obviously do a thing, really. But, whether it's Declan Rice, Mason Mount, Caicedo, Lavia, Zubamendi, this guy, that guy, we have to get comfortable that A, we might not get our top targets, although that's something Edu could dramatically improve in. B, everybody wants these players. And see, really, that you have to overpay for these players. It's a means to an end. I don't think there's a single player that is worth these fees at the time, but this is the market we're in. Of course, there is value for money, but for every 20-odd million for Zinchenko, 45 for Gabriel Jesus, 6 million odd quid for Martinelli, 20-odd for Trossard. We have missed out on a lot. Again, we need balance because we have spent big money and we haven't always got a good return. As much as I liked Lacazette, 52 million, he was a good player. He weren't quite what we paid for. Pepe, evidently it didn't work out. Again, it's not just with the transfer fees. Anytime a player isn't doing their job, they're expensive. The big money free transfer of Willian did not work out. So spending money correctly. And I do think under Edu and Arteta, we've had a better success to miss ratio where transfers are concerned. Players are looking a bit better, but the jury's still out and them two have still made mistakes. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with Tavares and Lokonga. What I would say with Lokonga is company got promoted with Burnley. He said, you're the next Yaya Toure. If Crystal Palace don't want to keep you, make sure you go over there really and truly and show us Yaya Toure stuff, company. So it'd be interesting to see what we're going to do. Again, you'd imagine now's not the time to move full steam ahead with transfers, but you'd imagine every club is talking with advisors, agents, etc., etc. Even a team like Brighton, you hear they want Milner. Obviously, McAllister will probably move on early in the transfer window. They've confirmed the signing more or less of what was João Pedro. They're on the case with a lot of players, actually. Ransk of Ajax, who have been linked with Arsenal and Brighton. Check out the other videos, people, and you'll see everything you need to see. So we'll have to watch these spaces, people. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Again, I'm not on selling really Eddie Nketiah or Balogun, but if it was a means to an end where You sell either one, like Balogun bringing you 25, 35, 40 million euros. You slap that towards someone like Ivan Toney or someone that has that scope. I'm all for it. I do think, especially with the Champions League next year, we need plan Bs. We need plan Bs, whether that's the formation, whether that's minor tweaks, whether that's in personnel. And Ivan Toney fits that. I think we need a Giroud sort. We need a Adebayor when he was at Monaco, or an Ivan Toney. We need a 6-foot-odd man. You saw how much that could have helped us, you know, in the second half against Liverpool when Odegaard and Jesus came off. We lost control. As great as Trossard has been across the front three positions, when it's a case of, you know, he can do the false nine thing every day of the week. But when it's a case of we need someone to play a bit like a traditional striker, he's going to face no chance, really. And maybe we could have done with that against City because, you know, Ramsdale's just kicking it long. City are dominating possession. The ball's just being given straight back to them. So Arteta's a smart man. He'll know what we need, really. So we'll have to watch these spaces, people. Please make sure you're subscribing. Turn on your notification bells. A bunch of videos to come out today and whatnot. Tomorrow we're watching Arsenal-Chelsea on my channel live from 7 p.m. Watch Along Business. Make sure you're there. Let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed here. Smash the like button, people. Help the channel grow, and I'll see you lot soon, people. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, etc. Stay blessed, stay safe. I'll see you lot soon.
There's always that active red flag. Defenders,
I think it's like